Alright, welcome back. This is Nadia from YARNutopia, and this is the final part of our Mystery Crochet Along. Have you guessed what it's going to be yet? Well, today you'll definitely find out. You should have 6 pieces of the squares, and 6 pieces of these triangles, 6 pieces of these triangles, and then your flat rectangle. So what we're going to do is my attachment method today. In the description of this video, I have linked to Nicki's attachment method. She has a different attachment method than I do, as well as other embellishing pieces. So make sure you check out her design and then come back to my design and choose which one you want to use for your piece personally. So today in my piece, I'm going to set this rectangle aside for now, and for your 6 square, now I don't have all of them here because I did attach some squares off camera. So what I want to show you is the layout of how it should all be. So we're going to turn our squares to diamonds, and then I am going to alternate going along this piece like this with one triangle, then the other triangle opposite, and then in this little section here, another square. Okay, I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to now alternate this color and this color. So I am going to put this yellow one on top. Now if you want to, you can decide if you want to put them all the same color on top and the same color on bottom, cool. But this is creator's choice over here, this part. So we are just going to line these up just like this all the way across your table, okay? So line them up how you want them to look, and once you have all your pieces lined up this way, we are going to attach. So my attachment method is different than Nicki's. She's sewing hers together, but I'm going to crochet mine together. So I'm going to turn all of this away from me, and what I'm going to do is attach it in a zigzag. So I'm going to start in this bottom corner here, and I'm going to work all the way up to here. Then I'm going to come down to here, then up to there, and just go zigzag in a single crochet method. Then when I do that one zigzag, I'm going to come back and attach the other zigzag. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to show you. I am going to attach using the charcoal color that I used for my piece, this rectangle piece here. So what I'm going to do is start with a slip knot and attach this to my hook, okay, not too tightly. And then we're going to start in this bottom corner here, and we are going to put the wrong sides together. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces, we're going to go up this whole line right here. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 pieces first, and I'm going to fold them so the wrong sides are facing each other, just like this. And I'm just going to go into the corner of each piece, like so. And I'm just going to slip, so yarn over, pull through and through to slip into there. You could chain 1 if you need to. And we're just going to single crochet across. Now to single crochet across, we're going to attach the 2 pieces, so going through both layers, so going into this next stitch here on this piece, and going into the next stitch here on this piece, and just single crochet. So we're connecting them with a single crochet. So going into the next stitch on this piece, and the next stitch on this piece, and just single crochet. And the single crochet method creates a bit of a ridge, a bit of a dimension on our piece right here. So you will see the single crochet stitches on the outside of your piece. How cool, huh? So we're just going to single crochet across until we get to this corner. Once I get to this corner, I'm going to lay this back down, and then I'm going to pick up these 2 pieces and put the wrong sides together, and then single crochet just like that along there. Okay, once I have attached just up to here, I'll show you how to get to this section and then we'll be right back. Alright, so I just got to the end of this piece is attached. So as you can see, there's a ridge there, looks cool. And now we are ready to attach these two pieces going up to this top part here. So to do that, I still have these two pieces attached. I'm going to take these two pieces, the wrong sides facing each other like this, and we're just going to go into this corner and this corner. Okay, and make sure your yarn is behind your work, just like this. And we're just going to single crochet across, just like that. Okay, so just going into each stitch. And on my moss stitch ones, I go through the chain space and then into the next stitch on the square, just like that. And just single crochet. Okay, and we're just single crocheting across. And then once I get to the other corner, I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the next zigzag. So we're going to start zigzagging across. Alright, so I just attach these two pieces here. I'm going to lay this down so you can see. So we went from this corner down here all the way up to this corner, and now we want to attach this piece and this piece. So we're going to come down, and then so we're going to come down through here and then attach these two pieces. Then we have to come up to these pieces and so on. Okay, so we're just going to do a zigzag as we attach all the pieces all the way across. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm going to now do wrong side to wrong side on this triangle and this square. Okay, I'm going to turn my work around so it's easier for me to work. And make sure your yarn is behind your work there. Insert into this corner and into this corner, and just continue your single crocheting across. And then just keep attaching your pieces as you go. And then once I have this zigzag done, I'll show you how the next zigzag works. Alright, so I just got to the end here. I just did the one part zigzag and this piece, trying not to twist anything. This is what it looks like so far. So now we want to attach the whole round and then do the other zigzag. So what we're going to do, lay your piece out as far as you can. I know my table is a little small here, but what we're going to do is flip it, so without twisting anything, I'm going to bring the beginning here, this part here, to the end, but we're going to do it on the wrong side. So if you need to flip this over, you can, to see the inside of this piece, or the opposite side. See how this side is all flat and this side has the ridge on it. So we have to bring the beginning without twisting anything to the end. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this on camera, but hopefully I don't mess up. So I'm just going to do it like this, bringing the beginning to the end. So kind of folding it in half. Okay, and we are going to attach to the beginning and then fasten off. Okay, so I'm going to go into the first single crochet stitch here. Okay, make sure your yarn's in the back. Yarn over, pull through and through. Chain one, cut my yarn, pull it through, and pull tight. And then I'll use this small strand here and sew that in later. Okay, so again, without trying to twist anything, make sure to lay your piece out so it's like this. Wow, that's big. This is turning out to be ginormous. Okay, so at this point, line up everything how you would have it. Wow, this is looking cool. Okay, that's big. It looks big right now, but with this, when we incorporate this rectangle later, it'll kind of shrink up. So you can kind of guess what it is at this point. So we are going to attach now these open sections here. So I'm just going to grab my yarn and my hook and just do it the same exact way as I did before. So I'm just going to start anywhere and just taking the wrong sides. We're going to start here. Okay, and I'm just going to go across here, then down all the way, and then up and up, just doing exactly the same thing we did, just closing the rest of this. Super simple. Then once this is all closed and we have a completed circle, ring kind of thing with these pieces, we are going to attach the rectangle. I'm trying to get it in. Alright, so I came all the way around, did my whole zigzag on this other part here, so this is all attached now, looking really cool. So we are going to slip stitch to the first single crochet right in here so that we are fully connected and closed up. So go in, yarn over, pull through and through, and then like we did before on the other zigzag one, chain one, cut your yarn and pull it through. Pull tight. Okay, so this is what you have so far. So now we are going to incorporate this rectangle piece. Okay, so what we're going to do, choose which side you want to be inside and which side you want to be outside, and two of these triangles are going to go on the long side, as you can see here, that fits the long side. Then one triangle is going to be sewn to the short side, and then the two other triangles on this side are going to go to this long side here, and then the last triangle is going to fit on this short side. So we're basically going to attach this as a bottom. Okay, so I am going to attach it just like I attached these pieces. So I'm just going to lay this here, and I'm going to grab my yarn that I just tossed on the side here. My yarn. Look at my yarn. Okay, here's the end. My dad's saying it looks like a bird's nest. Yes, it does. Okay. So starting off like we did with a slip knot earlier, just like that, and we are going to now attach this side, so this corner here, there we go, to this triangle here. Okay, and I'm just going to single crochet now across here to this second triangle here. So I'm going to single crochet all the way across till the end of this second triangle here. When I get to here, I'll show you how to turn the corner, and then you'll be able to go all the way around. Alright, as you can see, I just single crocheted across these two triangles here on this long side of this base. So now I'm going to turn this, and this short end is just going to have this one triangle along the edge here. Okay, so we're just turning the corner, and really wherever your hook fits, and on the two layers we'll just single crochet those together, and just do that all the way around. Okay, so then on the next long side it will take the two triangles, and then there will just be one triangle left for the short side on the opposite side of the one that I'm doing right now. And then we'll close this bottom up, and then we have to make just a couple more embellishing things like a top edge and some straps. And by now you know that this is creating a bag. Alright, I have connected the base, so I'm all the way back around. I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch there and chain one, and then I'll cut that yarn. Oopsie. I want to pull it through that chain one there. Chain one and pull it all the way through and pull tight, and then I'll sew that end in. But as you can see, it's a bag. Look at that. So now at this point you can decide again if you want to do my technique or Nicki's technique about embellishing the top. I am going to crochet around the top using my purple color here, this fairy tale color. So let me grab some yarn here and we can crochet around the top. You can do a single crochet or a half double crochet or whichever stitch you like, but I'm just going to try to find the end of my yarn here and attach just like we did earlier. Make a slip knot, insert your hook, and I'm just going to start, you can start anywhere really. I'm just going to start in this spot right here in a stitch, okay, and I'm going to attach it, chain one, and I'm just going to single crochet into each stitch around. Now you can single crochet or, like I said, double crochet or half double crochet just to clean up this top edge, because as you can see, if you zoom out a little bit, you can see there's like a dip in between our triangles. So I want to just connect the triangles completely all the way across or all the way around and just make sure everything is even on the top. And I want to kind of make this a little bit taller, so I'll see how many rows I do, and you can do the same if you want to do 5 rows or 10 rows, but all I'm going to do is just single crochet around. And since I'm doing single crochet, like I said, you could do half double crochet or double crochets, but I'm going to do single crochets, and I'm going to work in a continuous round. So I'm just going to continue going in a spiral, really. But you can work however you want with your piece. And I'll see, I want to kind of make it a little bit taller, because I'm going to hold my piece here for a second. You can zoom out and see that it is wider on top, and the base is a little shorter there. So I'm going to come in a little bit and just single crochet. When I single crochet around, it'll kind of come in a tiny little bit, and then I want to make it a little bit taller because it's just so wide at this point. So just make it a little bit taller, like, I don't know, this much taller. As you can see, that's probably gonna be like 10 rows. And then once I have that finished, I'll come back and I will show you how far I got and how many rows I did, and then I will show you how to do the straps as well. Alright, so I came all the way around. I did 10 rows total. So I started here and I just went in continuous rounds. So when I came back around, I just single crocheted into that first stitch and just worked in a spiral. And if you want to do more rounds than just the 10 that I did, go right ahead and make yours as tall as you want it. This is how it looks so far. Looking great. Look is so fabulous. But yeah, if you want this thicker, just keep going in a spiral to be however wide your rim of this bag you want it to be. And then when you're ready to fasten this part off, just slip stitch into the very next stitch, like so, and then chain one, and we'll cut our yarn, and then we'll sew in this end. Just pull it all the way through that chain one, pull that through, and then we'll just sew in this end, and we will go on to the next step, which is creating a strap. Now, this part is different than Nicki's part, so if you wanted to check out Nicki's Homemade Crafts, she has a different finish for her bag, so if you want to check that out. But I'm just going to sew this end in, and then I have a strap that I want to create, so you can make the same strap as me or make it longer, just the same type of strap. So let me grab some more of this purple yarn and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to set this aside, and we are going to still continue with the purple yarn, and we're going to make the strap. Now for the strap, we're going to start off with a longer strand of yarn, so we're going to use that for sewing later. And then what we're going to do is start like here and make a slip knot. So I'm going to put this long strand that I'm saving over the yarn that's attached to the ball of yarn, like this, then fold this down and then pull that strand through. This strand that I'm pulling is attached to the ball of yarn. And there we've made a slip knot, and we have a long strand for sewing later. So now we are going to chain 12. So yarn over, pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you want to chain more, just however thick you want your strap to be, fold this in half, and that is how wide, I should say, how wide your strap will be. So if you want it to be wider, chain more. But I just chained 12, and I'm going to go to the very first chain here, and we are actually going to single crochet into the first chain. Okay, just go into that first chain, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. So we're just going to single crochet into each chain around. So go into the next chain, single crochet, and we're just going to work in continuous rounds. And we're just going to single crochet all the way around this chain and then just continue crocheting into each stitch. Now what you could do, which I'll show you, let me just single crochet along this edge here, or this chain, and then I'll come back and show you how I'm going to do the rest of my rounds. Alright, so I've single crocheted in every chain. Now what we usually do, here I'm going to pull this out, is we usually work in both loops, single crocheting in each stitch around like this. But what I'm actually going to do is just work in the back loop only. So in this first single crochet stitch right here, I'm just going to go into this back loop right here and make my single crochet. This back loop, this is the back loop. The loop that's furthest away from you is considered the back loop, and the loop that's closest to you is the front loop. So I'm just going to work in the back loops just like this and work continuous spiral all the way around for 50 total rounds. So I did round 1, so I'm going on to round 2 now, and just single crocheting in the back loop only of each stitch around. Now that's personal preference. If you want to, you can go through both loops and just do a regular single crochet. But this will soon become a longer tubular type of shape, cylinder, I guess, and it will become longer and longer. Now I'm going to finish at round 50, but you can finish however long you want your straps to be. So I'm just going to, see, I just finished now round 2. So now I'm going to go on to round 3, and you can see we started right here. If you need to continue with a stitch marker, go for it, but I can see that I started here, so I'm just going to continue going up my piece, just making 50 rounds. So I'm just going to do that, and then once I finish round 50, I'll show you what to do next. When you finish, I did 50 rows here, we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch right here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then chain 1, and we're going to cut our yarn long for sewing this end as well, and then we're going to pull that all the way through and pull tight. Now off camera, I did attach some pieces of my straps, so you need to make 2 straps, and I added a button as well. So I'm going to show you all the things I did off camera here. So we're going to finish up this bag. So I sewed 1 strap. You have to make 2 straps. So sew 1 strap to the inside of this one, and then the opposite side, and you want to line it up so you can see here the triangles are here and the square or diamond is here. So you want the straps to line up with the center of each of these triangles. Okay, that's how I kind of laid it out, and make sure not to twist it or anything, and that is one of the straps. So the other strap I just fastened off, so I'm just going to show you. I sewed this end to, again, the inside, the middle of this triangle, so I'm going to go over to this middle of this triangle and make sure not to twist this. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to lay it down closest to the triangle there. Then I'm going to grab my yarn needle, oopsie, and I'm going to yarn my needle with that long strand that we just cut, and we're going to sew this on. Now however, which way you want to sew, or however you feel most comfortable sewing your piece on. You just want to make sure that it's down closest or through the whole rim of the bag, just because you want it to be sturdy enough. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and out of all the layers. Okay, in and out. Oops. And I'm doing this a little quicker for the tutorial, but you can obviously take your time and make it super nice and just go in and out. And then you want to also sew up this, because see, this gap here will separate, so you want to close this in. Okay, and I'm just going to go through all the way. Okay, and you can turn your piece and manipulate it however you need to make sure you're comfortable while you're sewing it in. Okay, then I did add a button, so if you have a button, you can add that, or you can just leave it open, totally up to you. And then for the loop, I'll show you exactly what I did for the closure, but I'm just going to sew this on here real quick. There we go. Okay, so to fasten this off, you want to end on the inside, go through a few of the stitches, keep your thumb through the loop, come back through the loop, and pull through. And that creates a knot, and you can do that once or twice, and then just sew in this end inside of the strap. Nobody will ever notice, and it will be hidden forever. Cut any extra, and do that for both straps. And make sure everything is nice and not twisted. And there it is. So for this closure here, I added this button. I just sewed it on using the yarn in the center. And then the strap here, this closure, all I did was, I guess I could have showed you on camera, I just attached my yarn here, I chained 12 and then attached it here and then sewed in my ends. And that is, it just clasps onto that button. This specific button I did get at the Etsy shop, would be fancy, so you can get wooden buttons at the Etsy shop, but otherwise if you have your own type of button, this one is 1.5 inches, right? 1.5 inches. So that is the size button that I used. But that is the bag! So if you followed along with this as the Mystery Crochet Along, congratulations, you are finished. Share your photos on social media with all of us to see your fabulous work. And if you are watching this on the replay or later when the Mystery Crochet Along is no longer going on, thank you so much for watching and making this bag with me. If you did make this, please thumbs up this video, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so we can keep bringing you these wonderful tutorials. Thank you to We Crochet for providing all the yarn for this project and sponsoring our Crochet Along, and thanks to Nicki from Nicki's Homemade Crafts for doing this collaboration with me. It was so much fun. Alright guys, and make sure to check out all those links in the description of this video to get more information where you can get all of our socials and all of the information about this bag and all the supplies. Thanks for watching everyone. Until next time, happy hooking!